Hey folks, it's Brian. We played Elderath tonight. Well, yesterday. It's now past midnight, but I'm a little wired, so we're going to get this done. Okay, so Reynald and Runt end up getting into an argument about Runt's drug use and Raymond's use of neutralized poison. It's in the live play if you want to hear that kind of discussion, or if you like following that kind of stuff, the rest of the session's in there as well. Um, so anyway, Reynald gets summoned to account for his search for that missing priest from Hamlet, which was an initial mission given to us many, many moons ago. He then gets interrogated by the two archbishops, which he does pass, though, with some reservation. He is then appointed as the priest of Hamlet. And in a fortnight, he's going to be frocked into holy orders and will take on these new duties. Um, While that's going on, but before Raymond and Hjalmar come back from the church, a runner comes to Wes in his apartments. He has a summons from the Lady Tamara that Wes is to accompany her to the temple in a fortnight. We all decide that we're all going to attend. This is Raymond's frocking, right? Okay, but there's a special area where we are with Lady Tamara and Sir Michael and a bunch of other, nobility and such. There's also Master Talmanar, who is currently the keeper of keys in the Ashing Tower, but who's formerly the Grand Master of the Wizards, the College of Wizards in the university. And it was he who actually poached Wes from Sir Michael, that made him a magic user, a wizard, a wizard, I think it is. Um, Before all of his squire-like training was done. So Wes is kind of a fighter magic user. That's how I had it planned out to begin with. Anyway, um, within this area of the temple, there's also another area that's specifically designed for the Guild of Mages, and that is where Thurmond is during this whole thing. Okay, so um, Raymond gets an opportunity to make a power gain roll, which he misses as part of this whole ceremony. Then there's the after party, right? There's lots of new folks here, including people that don't really fit the mold of nobility or of new money. And one of these people is Lady Cheryl Caladriel of Nightwing. She is the wife of Cathal, the Lord of Nightwing. She is wearing the holy symbol of Maliki, and so Raymond kind of grabs Wes, who was nearby, and says, "Hey, look at this symbol of Maliki." And so Wes, trying to get some possible side stuff going on, says, the symbol of Maliki, but he says it in Carillion just to see if there's any kind of reaction. And there was some clarification. Maliki is present here in Telgar in the temple. Maliki is present in the underwater temple, but Maliki is not present in the Kars temple. Okay, so we got that clarified for a minute because I got a little confused on. I thought Maliki was only present in the underwater temple. Okay, because she and Lady Cheryl says, "I don't understand what you said, but I get the gist. Yes, she is the protector of nature." So they have a little verbal intercourse with Raymond, congratulations, that sort of thing. And then she is followed shortly by Master Tolomnar, who Wes introduces. Master Tolomnar, this is Raymond, our friend. Raymond, this is Master Tolomnar. He's the former Grand Master of the College of Wizardry. And Master Tolomnar, smiles and says, "I am the Master of Keys." Lady Tamara also shows up later to congratulate Raymond on his new situation. Raymond then, at some point in the evening, searches out Sir Michael because Hjalmar is really interested in meeting Paladin of Sylvanus. Nothing else special happens that night. The next day, Hjalmar gets some kind of review from Sir Michael. where Hjalmar's found that he's lacking in some of the soft skills. So Raymond's kind of got for focus on, courtly graces, that kind of stuff, right? Okay, the next day we are just have discussions about, okay, Raymond is going to Hamlet. What are the rest of us going to do? I don't recall, shoot, if Wes was summoned to Lady Tamara or if he just went, because we got to figure out what we're going to do with the ship. But he gets to court, and Flavius Marcellus, who's also the court bard, is there when Wes is discussing, what they've been doing. No options. Okay, so Wes goes with a proposition. Hey, let's use the gate in Hamlet to see if we can't get to the gate in the Caves of Chaos. That way we can send forces through behind the Forgish armies that are coming through the pass down towards Kars. And when Flavius Marcellus heard this, says, "Wait, you have a key to the Hall of Mirrors?" Again, these words, right, of the Hall of Mirrors, which we've heard but don't really use that language because that's not how we know them. And Sir Michael says, "Hey, you want to send forces through these ways that are infested with demons?" And Lady Tamara kind of breaks him up. Okay, sir, first, putting a force at such risk is not a good idea, but being able to draw forces into an engagement where we could, do something would be of great value. And Whiskey's bringing up, hey, the only time we ever ran into demons was when we went to another world. And they go, what? You've been to other worlds? Yeah, we went to a place where the version had a version of Nis that is not our island of Nis. And you're, what? What are you talking about? And how do you know it wasn't Nis? And Wes uses English to say, rifles, cannons, sailing ships, things that they had that we don't. Of course, nobody understands those things, and they kind of, hey, can you say that again? We didn't understand you. But Lady Tamara says, I know what he means, because she's got, the orb. So she summons Master Tolmanar, and Master Tolmanar says, so what tales do you have to regale us with? So Wes kind of regurgitates the whole story of the gates, the things they've done, where they've been, things that are happening, the demons, etc. And Master Tolmanar says, okay, we do know that the ways between worlds are infested with demons. We don't know who put them there, but they are, when they are met, they are always, always hostile. Now, there are lesser paths that connect within a realm, and such paths are less guarded. There's one in the tower at Ashing that goes to Zig. Use it all the time. But pathways go both ways, and if you say there's a pathway open in a Hamlet, our enemies, we are at risk of our enemies using it to come to us through Hamlet. So, trying to do the same thing that we're considering doing. He recommends Lady Tamara that we dispatch a force to guard that site. And then looking at Sir Michael, he says, with capable men. These pathways must also be checked out to determine, what's their safety specifically. So Lady Tamara assigns Sir Michael to select some men to station some guards to their newly frocked priest in Hamlet. Clearly there's a risk from the east at Hamlet, and it would put the priest at risk, and we don't want that to happen. And then she looks at Wes, we need to investigate these pathways, figure this thing out. So use of the ship is actually on hold at this point. But on the way out, Wes is intercepted by a page from the steward. He has concerns of expenses. The ships are, holes in the water filled with money, right? There are crew costs, there are maintenance costs, etc., etc., etc. You should be aware that this tipping into your family's means and not necessarily your own. And the harbor master's been in consultation with the shipwright, trying to come up with some kind of useful use of the ship that can be used to put against these the accounts for these mounting expenses. There are islands to the west and to the north, and he's being told that this ship can be run at a much greater speed than it has been, or that most of their ships can be, and it has a cargo capacity of 20 tons. And what he's proposing, though, is that we go ahead and hire a crew, outfit the ship, and start making cargo runs out to the west and north to bring back a cash flow to help offset the expenses of running the ship and maintaining it and all that kind of stuff. And Wes says, hey, let me discuss it with the party, and we'll get our options to the shipwright on what we can actually do. So Wes gets back to the party, and Raymond is completely paranoid that the GM is just going to caveat, the ship got captured by pirates, it's gone. Wes doesn't think it's going to happen. I mean, she's flying the colors of Lady Tamara. How many ships of Lady Tamara's have been captured by pirates? I'm guessing not a lot. And if one were to be, I would imagine she would send forces to go and recover it, kind of thing, right? But anyway, we decide, okay, this does not necessarily have to be decided right now. We can think on it. So all of us off to Hamlet. It's a two-day ride. After arriving in Hamlet, they're there for 4 days, during which Raymond is setting things up, and the bishop is coming with us, and he's kind of doing a handover and making sure he's set up right, and that he's actually conducting religious worship services properly, that sort of thing. Raymond is also making the runs around the town to the village elder, Rufus, because Burns is dead, Gundy-Gooch, the various, movers and shakers within Hamlet itself there. Runt, though, makes his own secret set of introductions around to his family. Well, that's not so secret, but letting the friends and family of Tindo and Alexander know what's going on with him. Tindo's back at our estates in Carson. He's doing well, or she's doing well, and that Alexander, unfortunately, has passed away. That kind of stuff, right? So eventually, the bishop leaves to go back to Telgar. So that night, we start working with the gate. There's, this vine configuration motif around each side of the altar. Some stems have leaves, other stems don't. And Raymond kind of asks, hey, is this configuration different than the ones we encountered in the north? And Wes remembers, yeah, no, these are different. And so Wes starts sketching a relief of this altar. These stems have leaves, these stems don't. They're numbered, that kind of thing, so we can track what we're doing. And we just start doing some random testing and get nothing. So Wes then starts doing the random thing again with a different quadrant again, nothing. Start running out of magic points, because every time we do it takes a magic point. And then Krim does another quadrant, and again the same, nothing happens. So next day. Oh, and Wes, since he's not really doing anything during the day here, is going to be practicing his fencing out in the back field of the Welcome Wench. Okay, so next evening, we recollect where the Minox stem is. We make that connection. And the vine design... Oh, make the connection with the Minox stem. So we mark that one, and we go to the Minox side of the gate, and we mark that one back to Hamlet, and we look at the vine design, and it is different than the one at Hamlet. And also the Hamlet connection at the Hamlet side is on the north side. The Minox connection and in Hamlet is on the north side. The Hamlet connection in Minox is on the east side, or the other way around. And then Wes starts thinking about the design in Hamlet and the design in Minox. It's pretty they're different, right? And they're different from what he remembers before. And in fact, he goes, yeah, didn't the Captain's Journal have a bunch of these kinds? Can Wes remember to make any kind of connection there? He's not able to remember. That's okay. But Wes was actually able to make a xenobiology roll to realize that this particular set of vines, plants, is not native to Elderath. And so Wes makes a quick sketch of these leaf patterns, right, because they're different. Wes decides he's going to use his Commune with Maliki skill as his orientation to try to find the underwater temple. And he's successful with that, and as he's looking for a connection, he feels a nudge, and he makes a stem location. Gate opens. Everybody through. He follows. We end up in a cave, though. We're not in the underwater temple. We're in a cave. There's a ruins of a small shrine, in a ruined temple, right? This small female figure. There are vines covering beams, that kind of thing. And there are flagstones that lead away from the altar. So we follow along. The roof seems like a cave. We follow the flagstones. We come to the entrance of a cliff face. There's a rough-hewn path off to the left that follows the cliff face down and away. Looking up, cliff face, we can see starlight. It's clear, fairly easy to see. We can look across. We can see the far side is another cliff face. So we're in an enormous crevasse. And down below us is the tops of a jungle canopy. It's very dense, running essentially left to right. To the right, the far wall starts to taper together, but the left, it just kind of continues on. There's a glow coming down from below inside the temple. We can see some movement of something very large moving. The tops of the trees are moving, kind of thing, right? And further off to the left, on the side of the cliff face, we can see campfires. In certain spots through the canopy jungle, we can see the bends of a river running through. There's lots of jungle noises. In fact, in the distance, we hear the scream of violent death, sound like any cry we've ever heard before, except for Wes. Wes has heard this before. It's a dinosaur. So we send Emerald up to check out what she can see, all the way to the surface, and all she sees is desert on either side. But she did see the moon, not the center moon, but the external moon, because there's a bunch of discussion. Okay, we're in a toroid. Could we be in the centerpiece since it's dark and that kind of stuff? Can't see anything. And where would the moon be in the phase? And there's a lot of surface area here. But she says, yeah, no, I saw the moon. It was the external one, and it was where she expected it to be. So we are fairly close to where we were in Minok, or near Minok. So we said, well, we got some time. Let's go traipse down the cliff. So cliff face. We're going down the path, and somewhere along the way, we all make dexterity saves, and Wes made an automatic failure. So he slips, starts to slide down this cliff face. Krim grabs him, but debris continues to fall down the path and seems to start, at least it sounds like, an avalanche of some sort happening. So we head back up to the cave and to the altar. After we get inside the cave, though, something lands on the entrance. We hear the rustle of wings and such, Yeah, we're not going to mess with the pterodactyl. So we head back to Hamlet. No, we head back to Minok from there. Again, marking in Wes's notebook where stems are connecting. So we're back at Minok, and Kim tries to make a connection to the undersea temple. And she does her meditation or something, but she rolled like an odd 8, and then she rolled another odd 8. So sure enough, she finds a connection between the Minok altar and the altar in the undersea temple. And as soon as we get there, there's no alarms or anything because we're actually supposed to be there. But there were guards there, so he's coming through, so they run out. And so people come running back, including Lynn and Heta and the priestess who was left in charge. They tell us they've been attacked by Kuatua from time to time, but the temple defenses are taking care of them. They've expanded the area. They found a library. They've begun gardening. So they're more or less self-sufficient. And they've started their training regimen. Raymond, since he's here, makes a connection with the temple, can see that Hjalmar, in fact, is eligible to be fitted into one of the slots in the Paladin hierarchy. At that, we're getting close to midnight, and instead of trying to rush anything, that's what we called it. Happy gaming. It was for me.